Hello, my people. Lady Rosie here. How y'all doing? To all my new subscribers, you're welcome. My returning subscribers, you all know I love you. On this channel, we do expose the racist treatment of Meghan Markle by the English monarchy. Guys, so I went on the streets of social media and I also watched Isabella Back's video from yesterday. There is a lady called Yaki Wali. The lady is a part of these people who are fighting Prince Harry from getting the Pat Tillman Award. She is a member of those petitioners. So these people are plotting to unalive Prince Harry. And how they want to do it, you need to hit that lady's channel and go on there, watch that video and report it. We need to report it because, you know, any kind of threat should never be taken easily, lightly. Do not take any threat to unalive anyone whose life is in danger, like a Prince Harry, like a joke. These people walk around with terrible people. Those Donald Trump people, what do you call them? The MAGA? Those racists? The Proud Boys, those people are their mothers. Did you all see those women's faces? They are miserable trailer trash women. If you look at them faces, they all sound the same and they smell the same. They stink. Those are the bunch of the women plotting bad stuff to happen to Prince Harry. And they say how they want to do it. So y'all need to act right now. All of y'all guys, anyone who's gonna watch this video, go to Yaki Wali and report that video. I believe the video was made on a Saturday also, but she has two new videos. This video was made, I believe maybe Friday or Saturday. Okay, so go there, look for the video. The video has those trailer trash ladies. If you see the faces, they all look the same, identical, miserable. I wonder what happened to their lives that made them all look that miserable. I'm telling you, it's terrible. How can we just let this hate ravage the internet, ravaging America right now from the UK? Straight. I saw the squaddies on X. Y'all doing good job. I saw them. They tagged everything. They tagged YouTube. They tagged the creator, the creator page on X. Y'all doing good job. So the ones on here, let's all go on there and report this Yaki Wali. We can't let her fly like that. We're not here to perpetrate hate and have plan to unalive people. It's unacceptable. Violence is not allowed on this platform, YouTube. So if we are going to report her, YouTube is eventually going to do something. Apparently, she has been reported before. There are lots of cases in her name. And if we are going to go there and report her, something is going to happen. And those ladies calling Prince Harry divisive, he left his country and nothing happened to him. Let me remind you all a little bit. Let's listen to this white lady here, the Pivotee, on a TikTok. What she has to say, she is collecting pieces of everything that she's talking about from the book Spare, written by Prince Harry himself. We're just going to keep reminding these people because they're thinking Harry just wanted to leave that place. He just left out of blue and he just needed to sit down there and deal with their racist nonsense, stinky selves. These people, even watching them from far away, from watching you all guys on camera, you just stink. Horrible, miserable people. Ugly human beings. Ugly, in and out human beings. Let's listen to Peabody and remind these dumb, racist, rotten inbreds little bit about what had happened that made this kid leave that filthy, rotten, miserable island.
Social media using excerpts from Prince Harry's book Spare. This is the penultimate post. At this point in the book, Prince Harry was summoned to Buckingham Palace after he had announced that he was taking 3 of the British tabloids to court.
We had no other option. We wouldn't have had to do it if you'd all protected us.
So Prince Harry was ambushed in this meeting by the Bee and the Wasp. The Bee being Queen Elizabeth's private secretary, Eddie Young, and the Wasp being Chuck's private secretary, Clive. A reminder or an introduction to what the British press as well as the British tabloids were up to? You're not ready.
For instance, Tatler magazine quoting an old Etonian saying I'd married Meg because foreigners like her are easier than girls with the right background. Or the Daily Mail saying Meg was upwardly mobile because she'd gone from slaves to royalty in just 150 years. Or the social media posts about her being a yacht girl and an escort. Or calling her a gold digger and a whore and a bitch and the N-word repeatedly. Some of those posts were in the comments section on the pages of all 3 palaces' social media accounts and still hadn't been expunged. Or the tweet that said, "Dear Duchess, I'm not saying that I hate you, but I hope your next period happens in a shark tank." Or the revelation of racist texts from Joe Marnie, girlfriend of UKIP leader Henry Bolton, including one saying that my black American fiancé would taint the royal family, setting the stage for a black king. And another averring that Miss Marnie would never have sex with a Negro. "This is Britain, not Africa," she wrote. Or the Mail complaining that Meg couldn't keep her hands off her baby bump, that she was rubbing it as if she were a succubus.
So yeah, Prince Harry, who happened to be Princess Diana's heir, also a British Armed Forces vet, as well as the most popular British royal family member, was witnessing his wife being abused by the British tabloids as well as the British press on an unimaginable scale. Let's remember that the abuse that Kate and Camilla received, the rude, classist, sometimes to Kate, and very sexist to both Kate and Camilla, was not the same as what Meghan was receiving. Meghan was receiving the classist abuse as well as the sexist abuse, but she was also receiving racist abuse. It is not the same.
Things have got so out of hand, 72 women in Parliament from both main parties had condemned the colonial undertones of all newspaper coverage of the Duchess of Sussex. None of these things had merited one comment, public or private, from my family.
So this is just a reminder that Prince Harry doesn't just hold the title of prince. He is actually his wife's king among men.
Yeah, so this is what y'all did to that lady there. And that was something, just let it go. Just let it be. Because guess what? A white man, a white woman is writing it in the newspapers. It's okay for the black woman to endure. It's something good. And Harry had to witness all those ones and leave his wife there. For you vultures, derangers, lunatics, inbred, I don't even know what to call y'all guys. Just to look at y'all guys, rotten the inside. You know, karma is gonna catch up to y'all guys. Just to look at how y'all guys look like. Just to look at all the pictures of these ladies. Did y'all see them? Weezy showed them in her video yesterday. Did y'all see them faces? I believe I did post them on my page here too. They have them everywhere on X pages there. The squaddies got them covered. Miserable women. And everything coming out of their mouth. If you look at those women could also be Princess Diana's mother. They can be our grandmothers, actually. They are not young women. And mouth just reflects where they came from. Trailer trashes. That's where they came from. When you're coming from certain miserable background like that, how you gonna be happy about people's success? You just gonna be a hater. Because guess what? That's what you grew up to be, a miserable person. Look at people from normal families out here. They want to sit down there, perpetrate this level of hate around. No, never. Where are these evils coming from? Well, we have them around. We have them around us. Show up to my home. Then I show you that your trailer trash doesn't cross my door. Damn, I hate these people. I can smell them through my camera. Let's continue with pivoting.
Terry was serious about protecting Meghan from the UK press as well as the online trolls. Well, this is our key term series, social media, using excerpts from the book Spare. The first example is that the UK press had trashed Meghan's name so bad that it activated the online trolls. And so he said, you know what? No press in the wedding chapel. That was a big deal. Second, due to the hate online, as well as the increased press intrusion, Prince Harry said no Lindo Wing photo op for you. And instead, once Meghan and Archie were tucked away someplace safe, he came out and shared with us the announcement of the birth. Let's let Prince Harry speak for himself. He mentions the term social media as he's explaining what was happening around the time of the wedding.
Ever since we'd acknowledged that we were a couple, we'd been flooded with racist taunts and death threats on social media. See you later, race trader. But now the official threat level used by palace security to allocate personnel and had reached vertiginous heights. In pre-wedding conversations with police, we learned that we'd become the prize target for terror extremists.
Now he mentions social media around the time of the birth of their first child.
Within 2 hours of our son being born, we were back at Frogmore. The sun had risen, and we were behind closed doors before the official announcement was released, saying Meg had gone into labor. I had a tiff with Sarah about that. You know she's not in labor anymore, I said. She explained that the press must be given the dramatic, suspenseful story they demanded. But it's not true, I said. Truth didn't matter. Keeping people tuned to the show, that was the thing. After a few hours, I was standing outside the stables at Windsor, telling the world, it's a boy. Days later, we announced the name to the world, Archie. The papers were incensed. They said we'd pulled a fast one on them. Indeed, we had. They felt that in doing so, we'd been bad partners. Astonishing. Did they still think of us as partners? Did they really expect special consideration, preferential treatment, given how they treated us these last 3 years? And then they showed the world what kind of partners they really were. A BBC radio presenter posted a photo on his social media, a man and a woman holding hands with a chimpanzee. The caption read, Royal baby leaves hospital.
Meghan married a prince who also happened to be a real-life hero and protector of her because true love wins.
Yeah, love wins. Just imagine a BBC, which is their national television, the journalist who works on that channel posts such a picture. And that picture is being posted about the future king's grandbaby. Charles was still a prince then. And Harry's grandmother, Prince Archie's great-grandmother, was the Queen of England. Nothing happened. And y'all wanted you wanted Harry to stay there, and you wanted Meghan to still remain there, and they are divisive right now. This Mary lady, I don't know. Mary, I'm gonna find lots of stuff about you. You are one of them trailer trash as well. You are one of the stinky ones also around here. Y'all all look the same. You look like somebody who needs some kind of a re-education. Because I don't know what kind of box wherever you grew up from. You brought all this thing here to life. The way you brought it, But right now here, we're gonna make you celebrity. You're gonna be popular. Guess what? That Pat Tillman's foundation was posting Prince Harry since a long time ago, since 2013. And the person who does that, who is the director of the foundation, is Pat Tillman's widow. It has nothing to do with this Mary lady. They probably don't even get along. This Mary doesn't sound like she's even educated. She's a trailer trash nonsense. She's not too smart. I'm telling you that word could have had any hero of America's name. Anyone could have their name on there, on that word there. It could well be Muhammad Ali. Or it could be some other heroes who lost their lives in a war zone. It's a lot of them here. You should be honored. You should honor the memory of your son who lost his life. You are some low life, I don't even know what to even call you. A low life, stinky racist. That's who you are. You don't even deserve to be called that guy's mother. You probably never even liked that kid of yours. Because that's what y'all guys do. It's a lot of y'all guys here like Charlie Boy. Lots of y'all guys who don't like their kids. When your kid has a good reputation, your kid does some good stuff, you compete with your child. The child that you gave birth to. You competing with your own child. Because y'all guys were born with low self-esteem inbred. When you grown in those kind of family, what are you going to have? How are you going to even count that? How are you going to even think about some good future when you coming from incest, inbreds? Y'all are cursed. No wonder y'all look just the same. Watery. Damn these people. God. I'm going to find more about you, Mary. I'll find a little bit more about you. I'll be searching. It's a weekend. I'll be searching when I'm going to discover stuff about you. We're going to make you popular on Facebook, on X, on TikTok, everywhere. You're going to be popular. Don't worry. You want it to be popular? We're going to help you and we're going to make you popular. Touch Harry, touch Meghan, you touch us all. And we're going to show you that we don't play. Damn these women. Let's go back, listen to Pivot more.
Which two British royal family members were alleged to have commented on Harry and Meghan's child's skin tone? Well, it was the same two that announced that they were ill. Flashback Friday, and we understand now, more than ever, why Harry and Meghan chose to have their child's very first holiday season, Thanksgiving and Christmas, in the Commonwealth country of Canada versus with the British royal family at Sandringham. At this point, Harry and Meghan had received 2 years' worth of constant, toxic tabloid attacks, thanks in part to some of the British royal family members' secret briefings. So when they returned from their holiday in Canada, one of the first places they went was to Canada House to thank them for the hospitality that the Canadian people had given them during that holiday. And then the very next day after the visit, they shared with us a message on Instagram, which then was their only means of communication with the public. Their message says, Wednesday, 8th of January, 2020, after many months of reflection and internal discussions, we have chosen to make a transition this year in starting to carve out a progressive new role within this institution. We intend to step back as senior members of the royal family and work to become financially independent while continuing to fully support Her Majesty the Queen. It is with your encouragement, particularly over the last few years, that we feel prepared to make this adjustment. We now plan to balance our time between the United Kingdom and North America, continuing to honor our duty to the Queen, the Commonwealth, and our patronages. This geographic balance will enable us to raise our son with an appreciation for the royal tradition into which he was born, while also providing our family with the space to focus on the next chapter, including the launch of our new charitable entity. We look forward to sharing the full details of this exciting next step in due course as we continue to collaborate with Her Majesty the Queen, the Prince of Wales, the Duke of Cambridge, and all relevant parties. Until then, please accept our deepest thanks for your continued support. And then in typical fashion, Buckingham Palace is very reactive. Right here is a short message that they put out the same day. Discussions with the Duke and Duchess of Sussex are at an early stage. Thankfully, the Queen was forthright in a very clear message after the palaces had decided that the half-in, half-out compromise wasn't going to work for them. The Queen of England says, published the 18th of January, 2020, following many months of conversation and more recent discussions, I am pleased that together we found a constructive and supportive way forward for my grandson and his family. Harry, Meghan, and Archie will always be much loved members of my family. I recognize the challenges that they have experienced as a result of intense scrutiny over the past 2 years and support their wish for a more independent life. I want to thank them for all their dedicated work across the country, the Commonwealth, and beyond, and I'm particularly proud of how Meghan has so quickly become one of the family. It is my whole family's hope that today's agreement allows them to start building a happy and peaceful new life. So, of course, Buckingham Palace is reactive again, and they put out a very snarky, in my opinion, message I'll read in part. As agreed in this new arrangement, they, Harry and Meghan, understand that they are required to step back from royal duties, including official military appointments. They will no longer receive public funds for royal duties. Further, it says the Sussexes will not use their HRH titles as they are no longer working members of the royal family. They never shared the additional fact that Harry and Meghan offered to relinquish the title Sussex. A couple more points from their message here. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex have shared their wish to repay the sovereign grant expenditure for the refurbishment of Frogmore Cottage, which will remain their UK home. They did that, right? They repaid over $2 million that had been spent to refurbish that home because they wanted to retain that space on very protected grounds for their family. But then, after Harry's memoir, Spare, dropped, Prince Charles chose to be cruel and petty once again and took back the Queen of England's wedding gift from them, which, by the way, Chuck has written a memoir sharing the truth about his own family as well. It wraps up by saying, Buckingham Palace does not comment on the details of security arrangements. There are well-established independent processes to determine the need for publicly funded security. Security was one of the ways that they were trying to get them to come back into the fold. Anyway, aren't we thankful that not only is service universal, but also true love wins?
Yeah, true love wins. Well, you said Harry's divisive. Maybe you could listen to what this white lady said here. She read an article that was written, and those statements came from the late Queen of England about her grandson. And you, Mary, calling Harry divisive because you don't even know how to listen to news. You don't even understand your own English language. That's what trailer park does to people. You're showing people the level, your level of maturity and the level of education. You know, if you be hanging around your uncle and giving birth to children with them, how are you gonna even kind of develop to be normal human being? You can't critical think. That's what coming from incest does to people. You can't think straight. Because like I do tell y'all guys, the chromosome twisted. When the chromosome is twisted backwards, it makes your face even look different. And it makes your brain, the brain matter, your gray matter, even the frontal cortex of your brain, they shrink. That's why you can't process, you can't think anything straight. And you have no time to go research stuff, try to read before you open your rotten, dirty mouth to say anything about Prince Harry. You saw Prince Harry's mother. You couldn't even stand close to her. Some people like Mary also have a saying on some Prince of England. Princess Diana's son, a beautiful son, a beautiful woman that she was. And having these ones here with the lame face, one-sided, crooked face, rotten, bent, rotten, I don't even know. Harry divided your family or divided you. You so dumb. You are the one divisive. Did you see what you did? Right now here, your ex-daughter-in-law doesn't even consult with you anything about the foundation that bears your child's name. Those are divisive people. The people who are exed in the family that nobody consults for anything. You are one of those divisive family members. With the racism blowing off your nose to your, you know what. Miserable woman. We're going to give you good PR here if that's what you were looking for. The money that you took from the tabloid, you're going to vomit that money. I wonder how much they paid this stinky woman. Brought all kind of racist, ugly looking people on here. Their soul is ugly. Their behaviors are ugly. Everything that they stand for is ugly. Rotten human beings.
Series, Social Media Part 4. Before I share with you an excerpt from Prince Harry's book Spare, where he mentions social media, let's give some context. You can see the headline here, Meghan Markle's strict rules on suits set by Palace, and they made writers change script. So they were already controlling a lot of what she was doing because she was now associated with them. She was okay with giving up this part of her life because our girl was so in love. And then also right above at the top right-hand corner, that is her goodbye letter to her, the TIG community. The TIG was, of course, her lifestyle blog. In this part of the book, Prince Harry also mentions Meghan's 2 pets. You've got Guy on his lap here with 2 casts on his little legs and paws. And then right above, that's Bogart. Now, if you've read the book, you know that this is a very significant part of the book because it's the lead up to something very significant.
Meg packed up her house, gave up her role in Suits. After 7 seasons. A difficult moment for her, because she loved that show. Loved the character she was playing, loved her cast and crew, loved Canada. On the other hand, life there had become untenable, especially on set. The show writers were frustrated, because they were often advised by the Palace comms team to change lines of dialogue, what her character would do, how she would act. She'd also shut down her website and abandoned all social media, again at the behest of the Palace comms team. She'd said goodbye to her friends, goodbye to her car, goodbye to one of her dogs, Bogart. He'd been so traumatized by the siege of her house, by the constant ringing of the doorbell, that his demeanor changed when Meg was around. He'd become an aggressive guard dog. Meg's neighbors had graciously agreed to adopt him, but Guy came. Not my friend, Meg's other dog, her beat-up little beagle, who was even more beat up of late. He missed Bogart, of course, but more, he was badly injured. Days before Meg left Canada, Guy had run away from his minder. Meg was at work. He'd been found miles from Meg's house, unable to walk. His legs were now in casts. I often had to hold him upright so he could pee. I didn't mind in the least. I loved that dog. I couldn't stop kissing him, petting him. Yes, my intense feelings for Meg spilled over onto anyone or anything she loved, but also I'd wanted a dog for so long, and I'd never been able to have one because I'd been such a nomad.
And for those of you who've read the book, you might remember that Prince Harry is about to pull out a bottle of champagne and pop the question. So despite everything that is going on around them, they were able to stay connected, move forward in the relationship because true love wins.
I can't imagine what Megan went through for this relationship. Everything that she lost because of this relationship. And until now, she is not free from these people. She lost everything and left your country, left y'all guys, but you can't leave her alone. Because guess why? Her name pays bills. If you do not mention Megan, you can't sell nothing. So therefore, you need to sit down there and come with lots of nonsense. You gotta, can you imagine the person who wrote this article, who went to consult with Pat Tillman's mother, is the same woman who went and rented a home by Thomas Marcos' home in Mexico. The same person. Just look at how their machine works. They just can't sleep. If anything mentions Harry and Meghan's name, they have to put their nose there and they have to contact that person there to just trash them. I can't wait until karma catches up to that rotten lady who is sleeping with Thomas Markle. I wonder if this Mary also want to get in Thomas Markle's bed. Maybe that's what's happening. They'd be good combination because look at all of them. They look all the same. Even talking about these people is making me like a, I never found people who disgusted me like these people before. But guess what? Because we can't stop y'all guys, something is gonna come that's gonna stop y'all. One day, something will stop you. Everything has its beginning and the end. Everything that has a beginning has its end. Everything that Megan went through, y'all gonna pay all those things. You're gonna go through the same thing. If it's not you, your generation. Yep. This woman here, keep following those people. Keep renting their homes by their homes. One day, we'll hear. We're gonna hear everything about you right here on social media. This is what a human being want to be known for. Like just telling people my job is to spy on anyone who has anything related to Harry and Meghan. I just want to go destroy their life. Guess what? You do not have a lot of more years around here to do this, to continue to do what you're doing. Keep this video. You're gonna need it when you're gonna start experiencing everything that Meghan Markle went through. Your children, your generation, someone in your family, if it's not you, will experience exactly what Meghan Markle went through. Just the level of this torture. Guys, the level of this torture.
Part 3 for the term social media. And before I share with you the audible excerpt from Prince Harry's book Spare, just some context. Up until this point, Prince Harry has explained how his entire life, the British tabloid media has harassed him. Not just him, though. Also, every girlfriend he's ever had. And now, with Meghan, his fiancée, the British royal press was not only being rude in the headlines, but they were also being racist. Camilla and Kate received those rude headlines, but racist headlines are not the same. They were generating a different type of threat and hate towards both Harry and Meghan. There have been several officials who have come out and spoken about it. Look at the headline above. Prince Harry and Meghan faced very real threats while living in the UK, former top police official says. And you might ask, why didn't the British royal family make it even a statement? Well, she was about to be the spouse of the spare. The spare has always been the scapegoat. Also, Meghan was exceedingly popular. Prince Harry has always been the most popular British royal, and now his new spouse is right there with him.
That dinner with Doria was wonderful, but I look back on it now as the end of the beginning. The next day, the pap photos appeared, and there was a new flood of stories, a new surge along the many channels of social media. Racism, misogyny, criminal stupidity, it all increased. Not knowing where else to turn, I phoned Paul. "Don't read it, darling boy." "It's not that simple," I said angrily. "I might lose this woman. She might either decide I'm not worth the bother, or the press might so poison the public that some idiot might do something bad, harm her in some way." It was already happening in slow motion. Death threats. Our workplace on lockdown because someone, reacting to what they'd read, had made a credible threat. "She's isolated," I said, "and afraid. She hasn't raised the blinds in her house for months, and you're telling me not to read it?"
In my humble opinion, Prince Harry and Meghan had some almost insurmountable obstacles in order for them to retain their relationship. Not just retain it, but also to thrive, right? But they survived because true love wins.
Just imagine your father has all that power and has a relationship with all these tabloids. He could have just called those newspapers and stop all this. But in return, what did he do? He told Harry, do not read it. Because he's enjoying it. This guy's evil. Your turn is coming, dude. Your turn is coming. You're not growing backward. Everything that y'all guys witnessing right now, all those fake big C and all those horse hitting people, I don't know what that's still nothing. Just wait. Something really significant that's gonna shake these people to the core. Shake that racism garment they're wearing on them. I'm telling y'all guys, we're gonna sit down here on the social media and we're gonna be clapping, watching these people suffer. All of these ones combined with, including this Mary Tillman lady. All of them. She made herself known. Guess what? Now the media is going to keep up with her. We're going to keep up with her. And as for you, Charlie boy, Auntie Karma is walking around. Let's watch. Your generation accept this of Harry with our blood in it is going to have a better future. But the rest, I'm telling you, God does not like ugly. God hates ugly. And this public ugliness that you are spewing hate and everything and keeping quiet means you are part of these people doing what is happening to Harry and Meghan out here. Your silence is telling us who you are. And it's been like that since. But guess what? We're watching you. All right, my people, please subscribe to Isabella Beck's channel, subscribe to my channel, subscribe to all the Sussex-friendly channels. Remember my brother here, Royal Sussex. Y'all need to go there and get Byron to 100,000 subscribers. Brother, he's crying for silver plate. So let's get him there, guys. Yes, let's get my brother there. He makes us laugh. And I'm going to talk to y'all guys tomorrow. I love you guys very much. Bye for now.